Hello, good evening, Twin Minds here. We are playing Sherlock Holmes The Awakened. This is by the same devs that did the Sinking City, where the lovely
You want a fishy?
comes from. So we may have another sound bite ahead of us, but we shall see. It is worth noting that these devs are Ukrainian, and they started the development on this game 2 months after the initial invasion, and did this in part to help raise money for their people. So, take that for what it's worth. But they are known for the Sinking City game, obviously, which we played a year or two ago, and they are also known for a slew of other Sherlock Holmes games, none of which I have played because they don't have Lovecraft in them until now. So we're gonna do that. I don't know how much investigation there is, but I do believe they have a mystery mindset to the process when they make their Sherlock Holmes game. So we should have some investigation to do. So are we all ready to get going? Alright. I think we shall begin the investigation. Sherlock is afraid of water. If he falls in, he'll black out. I wasn't sure I knew that about Sherlock before. Try not to interrupt any story time, please, guys. Chapter 1, The Shadow over London. On Baker Street. Gila, you also must try not to interrupt story, please.
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today.
Yes, indeed. Let's. Howdy, Kinder. Welcome. Alright. Wait, are we... We're the young one. We're not playing as Sherlock, we're playing as Watson. They might even swap it out. I don't know. Alright, so we're looking for papers, but hi, hello. Alright, what's the clickities?
This mess is getting out of hand. What will the landlady think?
Spooky noises. Thank you, Spookle.
Most of us put our thoughts to paper, not to walls, Mr. Holmes. Your mail is on the table, Holmes. Your mail is on the table, Holmes. Your mail is on the table, Holmes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some sound bites to work with in this game. Alright. Alright, we've got the London Advertiser. September 28, 1882. Tensions between England and Swedes are running high after a series of unfortunate mishaps during a recent visit to London by Swedish Princess Ildur. Chief among the scandals was the embarrassment of the British diplomatic corps as a result of the unexplained disappearance of Princess Ilder's personal bodyguard. The longtime member of her inner circle took the opportunity to explore London while off duty and never returned from his late-night promenade. A spokesman for the police assures the advertiser that they are confident the bodyguard will be located, as he is a striking representative of the Scandinavian people. A man like that gets noticed, whether by his peers at his gentleman's club or the fair nightingales who comfort them. Indeed.
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting.
Ooh. Visit Barnes's bookshop.
Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
That's good service. I like the man. He helps me be lazy.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming. I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
See, I have a hard time keeping up with the iterations of Sherlock Holmes and Watson. Because the ones that come most to mind are, of course, the more recent movies, with one as Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock, who was very much a rough and tumble kind of guy, and then Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock Holmes, who was more of like a deep-seated, intelligent autistic man, to a very deep extreme. And I don't know which one is more true to the books, because I haven't read them. So, yeah. I did do a little bit of shopping for Prime Day, Scooby.
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes. Don't look at me. If you want the newspaper, you'll have to get your hands dirty. If you come across one of my drafts, please leave it in the bin.
I got a spice grinder for all them spices I've got. And then I got I'm trying out a new rice maker. And then Mom wanted some pretty earrings. I should probably try to order new lights. Alright, where are we going? Oh, that's right. Phase through door. Got it. Okay. Oh, he's following me. Got it. Alright. I didn't know I was the lead in this partnership. It's rainy today. Why not dress in something more appropriate for the weather? Open the casebook with C, navigate to wardrobe with tab, and put on a hat. Hat. I think we should wear the raincoat. Or possibly the raincoat. Let's go with this one and a different hat. There we go. Now we are properly investigative. No. Should we go with chops? Some of these beers look a little bit funky. Have a little bit too much aliasing that needs to be antied. No, that's okay. Alright, new hat. Alright, do we have anything else? Nope. 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 Alright. "221B Baker Street." He may change faces like frickin' X-Man, but
If I'm honest, part of me will enjoy watching you rifle through rubbish. Seems only fair after what you did to our flat.
he does keep his digs the same. I also have a 2 terabyte waiting to be installed. I have just I have not been doing it because I need my computer for other things. Well, this is pretty. And I have forgotten where I'm supposed to be going. We don't have a marker that tells me where to be going. Need to go get a book from Barnes. We need to find the missing person for the London Advertiser. And we need to go find a newspaper. Oh. They actually want me to go through the dustbin to find it. Okay, well that's... okay. I thought we were just going to the newsstand and getting another one. Ooh. Pointy.
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool.
A little bit of a curious thing to be pointing out, bud. We're not trying to assassinate my garbage here.
You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
Thank you, Sparkle. Hold on, shift to run. Where are we running to? I was looking for my newspaper.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
Tiny child, give me newspaper.
Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
Kid's got a good business sense on his head. What happened to my... What were today's headlines? Please, regale me with your story, tiny child.
Any breaking news today?
The dog accident. It's the talk of the town.
Yes, yes. Besides the tripe on the front page, anything about burglaries?
I'm not sure, sir.
Alright, then what happened to my newspaper?
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson?
Sure, now I can take the day off.
Alright, tell me about the man.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises.
What did he do to the paper?
Did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
A big bang, you say? Do you have a theory?
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. If you have more shillings.
I will take as many eyes and ears as you have, tiny child. And if you grow more, I will have those
Get
as
the
well.
Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
Okay, so a man with a book. You now have a question.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
I'm gonna walk away from the tiny child. Now have a new question in your Mind Palace. Open the casebook and then navigate to the Mind Palace. Alright. So, cactus spine. Potentially poisoned. And the strand is missing. Mind Palace. Who ruined the strand? Thank you, Paige. I appreciate it, Paige. I am not wearing my fedora currently to tip, but thank you, Paige. Alright, who ruined the strand? Probably related to books from Barnes. Interesting. Mind Palace is rather goopy. Kind of dig it. But he was carrying lots of books, so I'm going to assume it was the bookseller until otherwise proven. Ah, okay. So, where... How do I... I need to figure out how to navigate this thing. Okay, bye, Paige. Have fun with game. Hello, Tracy. Huh, okay. So, observations, the strand is missing. How do I undo that, if anything? Okay. Among our morning deliveries is a book from Mr. Watson. It was from Mr. Barnes, the bookseller, who prefers to do deliveries himself. Attached to the book is Barnes' business card, which includes the address of his store just around the corner. So we'll start with Barnes. I am not clear what we're doing in the Mind Palace. It's not terribly clear on like how to navigate and how to piece things together. But we'll figure it out. All right. So we have lots of evidence-y things. And then, I don't know which way just around the corner is. Because there's a couple corners to work with. So we're just going to go this way. Oh, there's a shady character. This place is really pretty, though. I mean, pretty in terms of grimy London, but pretty. You're also planning on striking when I'm deep in thought in the Mind Palace. But no one's supposed to be able to intrude on my Mind Palace. Hey, you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, you. Come here, kid. Alright, so that's Farm Fresh. There's Barnes. I am good detective. I noticed sign ahead of me. That was a hell of a noise.
Impressive stature, strong gaze. I think this man deserves a knighthood.
Really, Holmes? How can you be so sure?
On rare occasions, Watson, it can suffice to trust one's gut.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, you say?
My gratitude, sir.
Has a certain ring to it. Meh. Meh. Yep, these people are just chilling out the rain. They mostly have their hats, though, so they're just fine. I also was not aware that ladies wore top hats. That was not a thing I knew about London. I'm on a break. Alright then. Fine. Be that way. 2 books for the price of 1. New books in the store. Charles Dickens. M. Gogol. Edgar Allan Poe. Wait, wasn't Poe in New York? Maybe he traveled and maybe he was in New York later. Or maybe books are just that well traveled at this point. I'm not familiar with my late 1800s worldwide distribution network. That is a fancy coat.
The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall. I should have worn something warmer.
But you wore something stylish, and that's important.
People don't tend to come out for flowers when it rains. Perhaps I should try selling door to door. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Alright, so she does have cactuses.
Have a look at my flowers.
I was trying to look at the cactus, not you, but that's okay.
Unless you touch their thorns.
Alright, so he's out for a break. Let's go take a wander. What you got there? Lovely artwork of produce. Hello, man peeing in the alleyway. I have not ever read Sherlock Holmes. I know my mom's read a few. I have mostly ingested my Sherlock in the form of the movies and various games like this. Did I hear a kitty? I heard a kitty! I can't pet the kitty. Alright, 0 out of 10, worst game. Can't pet kitty. -3 out of 10, indeed. Can't pet the kitty. I'm sad. Alright.
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona. How about that Vogel fellow? He seems rather obsessed with you. Would he do something like this? Why go through all this scheming to murder you? A spine stuck to the newspaper is hardly lethal. A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another. A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
So I am mostly just wandering at this point because I have not I was gonna say I haven't found any clues, but we have a clue. No, I would say I have not detectivized the correct clues yet. But what are we doing?
A model of a homely room and fireplace.
Indeed.
A model of a homely room and fireplace.
There's 14 Wizard of Oz books. I had no idea. What am I missing? I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? In each chapter, questions will arise in the course of your investigation. Questions are shown in the Mind Palace. Answer all questions to progress to the next chapter. This icon on the HUD notifies you when there's a new question to answer. Yada. Get there, do the thing. Okay. After selecting a question, try to answer it by linking relevant evidence. All evidence is broken into 3 categories. Each category appears on a different screen. Items, documents, and observations. When all correct links have been made, the evidence will be combined and an answer revealed. Often you will not have the correct evidence to answer each question, so keep investigating until you do. Answering a question with correct evidence is on the first try grants you a bonus score. Haha! That didn't happen. Oh yeah, Stalin Hug has some good stuff. Alright, so I don't know what this is about.
A small minecart. Endearing, if disturbing. Looks like putting something in the slot may get the gears inside to move.
Okay.
Looks like a factory to me. Wonder what could get the gears inside moving.
Okay, so there must be a thing I'm missing in this one to get the gears moving, but I don't see it. Like the other two had obvious divots in the bottom. I can move. Ha ha ha.
Chimney bears a peculiar form, like it's meant to have something put inside.
There we go. Okay, so I've investigated whatever this is. Lovely.
A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
Welcome to the hunt. Hey ho, street pigeons and roof ravens, another treasure hunt is upon you. With a clue in hand, it's up to you to find all the dolls.
Padlocks have names etched onto them. Anne, Tom, Charles.
Indeed, probably one key in each drawer of that doodad that we have to open. Alright, that's fair.
Children's clothes, judging by the size.
Yeah, I enjoyed Tales from the Loop. They have a series of it on Amazon Prime.
What a grim view.
It's pretty good. Okay, so I think this might be just like a little mini side investigation that I wandered into. Totally irrelevant compared to all the other stuff I'm doing. So let's see if we can get back on track. What a fancy carriage. Boots and shoes. So the bookshop is closed. Temporarily. We're looking... Look at... This game has the same problem that they had in the Sinking City. Sunken City, whatever. Where the dresses of the ladies randomly explodes, exposing their ankles scandalously. So I thought I was onto something at first with the lady selling flowers and the cactus directly across from the bookshop where we supposedly got our paper delivered from. But that did not appear to go anywhere. Alright. So let us attempt to investigate. So we're missing information. So we got this one. This is related to the other thing. Newsboy's testimony didn't see much. Suspicious man approaching the house and a loud noise with bang. Dude was carrying a stack of books. We also had a book delivery from the bookman, so that was probably one and the same. We did lose our piece of paper. So these two are the secret yard. The newspaper was indeed in the bin. Okay. Missing copy was in the bin with a cactus spine stuck in the sheet. Yada yada yada. Good for assassination. Okay. So we're supposed to do something in the Mind Palace, but I don't understand how the Mind Palace works. Good morning, the one. Alright, Newsboy's testimony for who ruined the Strand. We have observation, the Strand is missing. And then we have who ruined the Strand, book from Barnes. Ah, okay. Mr. Barnes is involved in the scheme. The newsboy said the suspicious man was carrying a stack of books in this morning. Mr. Barnes, the local bookseller, delivered a novel for Dr. Watson. A cactus spine for assassinations. A loud bang. A visit to Mr. Barnes is in order. See, I didn't understand the Mind Palace thing. That's what I was missing. Okay.
Come now, Mr. Holmes. Murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Alright, you can pin the evidence for quick access to information from your casebook. Okay. Book from Barnes. Pin evidence. Aha! Okay, I don't need that. Nope. There we go. Okay. So basically it just wasn't gonna work until I figured out the Mind Palace thing.
Get your copy of the Strand here.
Okay. Book. What a lovely little bookshop. Especially the little stairway entry. Hello, sir.
A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world.
Oh.
We can always buy another.
See, this guy is going to take me some getting used to. He doesn't look like a Sherlock Holmes to me. He looks like generic Londoner. I'm gonna look around quick.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Can't pet the dog either, but at least you can talk to this dog.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
This is a lovely bookshop. I like this bookshop. Very pretty.
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
Alright, you, sir. I shall observe you. Just walk up to a person in a store somewhere and just stand there staring at him. Alright, bags under the eye. Ooh. Noises. He's got bags under his eyes. Thank you, Sparkle. I'm gonna walk around you in circles so that I can stare at you properly, sir. Newspaper ink? Question mark. Does he have a nice bum? The world may never know. I'm not allowed to look. I'm apparently still missing things about this man. So, the angle that we're at here, we're literally just walking into a store, creeping up on a man like, what you got there? What you looking at? Suspicious. We can go down. He does have a nice bum. Aha. scuffed knees. And yet I'm the one on my knees right now investigating his knees. He's got a sore left leg. And he's got heels. He wants to look taller. Mr. Barnes has large bags under his eyes, the result of poor sleep and stress. He has developed a limp, likely the result of an attack. He wears high heels to look taller or stronger, presumably to deter future violence. Mr. Barnes is being threatened by someone, and it might be involved in a plot against me. I have the option of blackmailing him. Or he may be a blackmail victim. I'm not really sure what this button means, but it could be one of the two. He is a workaholic. Mr. Barnes has developed a limp. Not very confident, tries to be taller. Seems unlikely that such a person would be involved in a murder plot, even if the ink on his hand suggests he is the one who soiled the newspaper. Nevertheless, Mr. Barnes could still be a pawn in a bigger plan without his knowledge. Alright, so we have the option of confirming the portrait of him in our mind as either a blackmail victim conspiring to murder me, or that he just works himself too hard.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
He gasps and runs away.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please?
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you coming.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really
Wait,
deep in the
is he
weeds
Sherlock
with,
Holmes?
With important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out.
So wait, he introduced himself as Sherlock Holmes, right? Am I imagining things? Am I going crazy?
The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
Okay. I know, I can say hi to the dog, but I cannot pet the dog. Exotic Plants Catalog. Everlasting plants for everlasting love. Catalog of exotic plants on Barnes' counter. Alright.
Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
Okay. He left the money on the counter. So what have we here? The Mystery of Edwin Drood by Charles Dickens. Power of Love, Blood and Mandrake.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is.
Suspicious. Oh. That's a button. Moriarty is the reason we can't pet cats and dogs in this. I knew it. He was the one. Howdy, Diesel. How you doing? Okay, so all I can find is the flowers. Unless I'm missing something. Stack of books, I guess?
An improvised stand. but it does make the flowers more visible.
Okay. Is there a way that I can like see?
The finest view London has to offer.
Okay. Got it.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him. We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think. I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket. Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight? Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Hint, hint. Keep looking around, you idiot.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
Alright.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Okay, so we've already interacted with all of the things. Except the door. I'm pretty sure. Unless there's something back here. Nope, nothing back here. I turned down the music a little bit, but I kind of want to hear it. Ma'am?
Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
I mean, there might be a back door. I wasn't expecting to have to break and enter to talk to a man. It's a different man peeing. I found a doll.
What's this?
It's a good question.
What's this?
That you gonna touch it? Find out?
What's this?
You're gonna... Okay. Not gonna...
A miner with a sooty face. At least, in doll form.
Why wouldn't it let me take it before? Alright.
A treasure hunt. Used to do lots of those in my childhood for myself and...
Is it a call for help?
A bad joke. Or both. Better not risk leaving this matter ignored, don't you think?
No? What was the question again? Yeah, there does not appear to be another way in. Curious. Can I go to my mind palace? Why is Barnes acting so strangely? Broken ladder. Character portrait. And newsboy's testimony? No. Mr. Barnes is involved in the scheme. Because he has cryptology books. No. Spine. And dead flowers. So dead flowers on display is part of why he's acting strangely. Curious? Alright. That's the only document I have left. And then, cryptography books. Exotic plants catalog. That's all I got. Alright, so we're missing something. Oh, suddenly we have lots of things. I think we're gonna keep getting more things. Alright, so what are we supposed to... Also, I'm very confused as to who these characters are. Because they keep referring to themselves in different ways. Our main young-looking person here has been both Watson and Holmes at various points. I couldn't find anything to interact with. I can always take another run around the block. It's always a different person peeing in the corner here. Well, yeah, nothing to interact with. No way to go through the windows. Nothing. So this is actually Holmes. Interesting, because it didn't sound like that when they were first introducing the characters. Like I'm so confused. Okay, so I feel like we're missing something obvious, but I can't for the life of me tell what the obvious is. And I have interacted with all of the things there are to interact with, including the broken ladder. I thought after we investigated this thing with the flower and the view of the lovely lady that we would like go talk to her or something and ask her straight up why he's being so dodgy. Hello, I would like a boot, please. That's unsanitary, sir. Nope, same guy this time. I didn't give him enough time to transform into someone else. No. So the Q, which is this green zoom thing, this has not been explained to me, so I don't even know what it's for or what it does. I'm assuming it'll be explained later. The Z, which is the ping, for lack of a better term, is supposed to highlight what items can be interacted with. This dot here. And that gray means I've already interacted with it. The people...
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Keep saying the same thing, even though they're white, so they don't have any more information to give. And yeah, the information's probably in plain sight. I thought it'd be you.
Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite, unless you touch their thorns.
But she's just obsessed with flowers. Sherlock and Watson are generally the same age, with a year or two difference depending on which way they're portrayed. Okay. So he's got tea, he's got random money left on the counter. Okay, so yellow dot for, I guess, Watson and front door, but nothing else. Gray dot already interacted with the dog and the ladder. Huh. Curious. Curiouser and curiouser. The flowers are very much dead, yes. And when we investigated the flowers...
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is.
And that's the extent of the information I've got. And then makeshift book stand.
An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
And then we've got Flower Lady.
Finest view London has to offer. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is.
So we've got dried flowers, cryptography, and unknown. So I guess we could try the Mind Palace again? So we got items on display, dead flowers. Observations. I can't pick either of these observations anymore. And then Mr. Barnes is involved in the scheme with, and I already tried the cryptography. Exotic plants catalog? It feels very much like I'm missing something. So the dead flowers on display are definitely part of it. That one's the only one that's been marked green so far. But I'm missing a document or testimony. So let's see. Yeah, because we don't have a document or testimony to pick a third thing, so it won't even let me finish the Mind Palace stuff. Okay, so that's street things. Maybe we can talk to him again? Nope. Not even...
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
I know. Maybe it's the bones.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
No. This is gonna be one of those brain-hurty games, I am sure. So I keep thinking that she's got something to do with it. There's a dog that I can talk to. I didn't even see that dog before. Hi, dog.
Hello there. What's your name?
Lily, I know, not very original. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite, unless you touch their thorns.
Wait. I did.
Encouraging people to
It
stop
didn't
and smell
highlight.
roses.
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
Okay, so here's
Familiar
cactus.
spine. That's what I found in my dustbin. The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Thankfully, it wasn't my skull.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
There are things that tickle my fancy, but first...
Let me inspect you.
She is wearing makeup. Shocking. Avoids eye contact or distracted. Luxury fabric, unusual for work attire. Honoring a deceased husband with a mourning brooch. Okay. I cannot inspect the dog. So, imagining this dude in fancy London attire down on his hands and knees inspecting this woman's boot. She changed shoes upon arrival. How would I know that? Oh, because they're clean. Got it. Okay. I'm looking at your brooch, I swear. Mrs. Fleming wears a mourning brooch in memory of her late husband. Her dress is made from an expensive fabric that is not suitable for work. Her shoes show no traces of mud. She must have changed them when she arrived. Her eyes constantly dart around the street, seemingly in search for something. Perhaps she is waiting for someone? While Mrs. Fleming cherishes the memory of her departed husband, she is trying to move on, as suggested by her makeup and nice outfit. Perhaps she is dressing to attract someone's attention, or simply because she has learned to love herself again? Indeed, observing the florist. Alright, she is either ready to move on or still grieving. She uses makeup to hide her tear-stained cheeks. Her dress is made from expensive fabric that is not suitable for outside work. Yada yada yada. While she tries to bury her grief by dressing extravagantly, she wears a mourning brooch in memory of her late husband. Her gaze, always staring off into the distance, reveals her emotional detachment. So I do find this interesting, because we have to make a summary judgment of someone before we're allowed to do anything with them. So I mean, I'd say she's still grieving. Because if she weren't still grieving, she wouldn't be wearing the brooch, right? That's theoretically what that's for. We're gonna go with still grieving. You stay out of my brain. Alright, still grieving. Taken as a whole, one must conclude that Mrs. Fleming is still reeling from her tragic loss.
My condolences, Mrs. Fleming.
Mr. Holmes?
Your husband's death. You're clearly still in mourning.
Oh, no. I loved him more than anything, of course, but that was some time ago now. Life goes on.
A lesson we all learn.
I was immediately wrong.
One way or another.
Immediately wrong. Alright. Provide evidence. Did you stab me? Did you stab me, ma'am?
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
Aha! 'Tis not her cactus. Right? Why still wear the brooch? Maybe in loving memory of instead of in grieving memory for? I don't know. So clearly, my assessment of her was wrong, and I don't know if that's going to take any effect in the game later. Here, let me just select this.
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
Okay. What about this one?
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
What about this one?
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
They're dead and dry. How
How
could they use a bit of water?
I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
Oh. Well, alright then. Cryptography.
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
Exotic plants.
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Stepladder.
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Cactus spine.
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Where's my newspaper, lady?
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Did you bring my book?
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Are you the person who stole the princess's bodyguard?
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Are you in cahoots with the newsboy?
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
What of Mr. Barnes? Is he plotting to kill me?
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes.
Look.
Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy, so we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached, but since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
I wonder indeed. So, I mean, we clearly have a case of, like, actual, literal puppy love going on here. He bought a puppy just to spend more time with her. I don't know exactly what's up with the cactus, why he put that there, if that wasn't hers. Unless that was meant to be a gift for her, perhaps. Yes, a flower seller who doesn't know anything about exotic flowers. She only knows about the basic flowers, like the rose. Okay, so. Do I then have enough in my mind palace to accuse him of being in love? Alright, so the dead flowers are on display for items. Observations. Character portrait, Mrs. Fleming. Nope. Observation is the dead flowers on display. Mr. Fleming's conversation on Mr. Barnes. And then, roses for sale? Cactus in a cracked pot. Cactus in a cracked pot. Mr. Barnes is in love with Mrs. Fleming. Barnes displays a bouquet of dead flowers to attract the attention of Mrs. Fleming, a florist. He may hope she will come into a shop and give him watering advice, or it could simply be a symbol of his desperation. Barnes anonymously gifted her a cactus, which he ordered from the catalog on his counter. A questionable choice, but for Barnes, a symbol of his eternal love, since the catalog presents these cacti as immortal. Plainly, this is the same cactus he dropped on the Strand, outside 221B Baker Street. Now to hear the full story. We shall confront him! Why are you avoiding me, sir?
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Indeed.
Didn't you once tell me that
Okay, fine.
answers usually lie in plain sight?
I was kind of hoping he'd say something new after we've discovered the answers in plain sight, but now... Sir?
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
My paper was ruined. You've ruined my day, sir. No. Tell me of the new cactus.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer.
Just loud crashes as he comes tumbling down in shocked anime style. Arms flailing, dropping to the ground.
I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right then.
Just loudly declaring all of his secret business in public before convincing him to come
you know
out.
what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh,
Wow,
it's
just throwing
true.
so much shade.
I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
Oh, she noticed, all right.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
Wow. So, I do find it interesting in that he very much blamed the bookseller for ruining his paper. And then gave him crap for not bothering to offer his copy of the paper as a peacekeeping offering. Never mind the fact that Sherlock himself didn't bother assuming, which he is very good at doing, that there would have been a paper here available for him to just read while he sat in the bookshop, alone, unattended, because the man had locked himself in the back. Literally could have just rifled through his stuff and found it. It wouldn't have been that hard. Alright. Saltpeter explosion rocks docks. Locals at the Port of London had a rude awakening last night with loud bangs and thick red smoke disturbing the peace. Merchant ship Moskva had docked at the pier N3 early evening en route to Europe when it was rocked by several concussive explosives. The Port Authority has yet to comment on the incident, and it is unknown if any crew members were on board at the time. Eyewitnesses report seeing saltpeter leaking into the river, but with the area still off limits to workers and the public, it may be some time before we have a full account of what transpired. Indeed.
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
That would have been the logical thing to do, yes?
Okay, not just tomorrow. A whole week's worth. How does that sound?
I think that's a bit excessive. You could have stopped at one.
You're right, I could do more. Next time you move house, I'll be there to help. I'm great with boxes.
Again, you could have stopped with just one newspaper, but appreciate the offer.
And feel free to consult my books whenever you like. I could be an asset in one of your investigations. And feel free to consult my books whenever you like. I could be an asset in one of your investigations.
And the way this guy is proceeding, I'm going to own this bookshop by the end of today. He's just going to be like, okay, all right, just take it.
I'm sure Barnes has had enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We best be off.
Indeed.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No? Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most
Watson.
tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
Is it actually that way, or are you just gesturing wildly to that random direction?
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop.
Okay. I'll take you at your word. Let's go that way. Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Have a look at my flowers.
Okay.
They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Kind of hoping that we'd hear her side of the love story, but, you know, it is what it is.
Not much further now.
Alright. Is it this large place? Stenwick's Manor, indeed. This is, it's quite the house.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Ruffles. Why aren't you investigating?
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said,
Fair.
if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick.
Okay. What other missing people are there?
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Yeah, quit being a blowhard, quit wasting people's time, and let's just do this thing. Alright, Kimihia. When?
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must
Papers
have escaped
again?
the night before yesterday.
Everyone has problems with papers today. Describe it.
Tell me about Kimahir.
He's foreign, a Maori, all the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English, never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
Make do with pointing. Alright, fair enough.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Ah, but I glance better than most. Watson's just doing circles in the back. Alright, why would he run?
Is there any reason Kimahir may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
His cabbages, you say? Has he run away before?
I take it this is the first time Kimahir has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Ah, right. There was a disclaimer. There we go. When we first loaded up the game, that definitely mentions that any racism and whatnot is a product of the times, telling the story in the language of the era, where there was a lot of racism and assuming that people of different backgrounds were lesser than others. So try not to be offended, anyone who may be. 'Tis all very offensive, but we are telling a story. 'Tis all.
Did Kimmer here make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled
Ruffles.
with some money on his person.
No. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Alright, Mr. Karen. Welcome back, Sparkle. What is your discovery?
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone. Do you think Kimmy here had an accomplice in his escape? Yes, Stenwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please, try to remain courteous. This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it. This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
Why are you still here?
Oh dear, I seem to have spotted a cunt.
If you find my man, I have a marvelous whiskey with your name on it. This dreary rain is making a miserable day even worse.
That is correct, Sparkle. It can.
Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
A stream of Diet Coke redirected into a bag of popcorn. Oh no.
Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
What a lovely little pond. Alright, we're wandering, we're looking. Bird. Bird. Was there anything this way? Or is it just both directions all the way around? No, okay. So we have a headless statue. That is interesting. What is this?
Looks like a knee print. Alright. A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Chewing tobacco. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
Thank you, Sparkle. Thanks. Alright, with enough clues, Sherlock can use imagination to reconstruct the past. Press Q to see imagination nodes. Interact with nodes to begin, then recreate an accurate version of events. Imagination. Alright, we'll use imagination later. That's what the Q is. Got it. Indeed, Diesel, 'tis the season. Concentration helps you pick up details about the world around you. When you see a wavy green circle, press Q to observe the object more closely. Alright. So don't forget to pin the relevant evidence. Some clues won't be visible without it. That's interesting. Okay, Mr. Man was hiding. Got it. Parallel tracks, wheels.
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
Okay. Going into his lovely home. Hang on. So what am I supposed to be pinning? Okay, Stemmick's testimony, footprints in the Captain Stemmick's garden, chewing tobacco remnants, clues in Stemmick's garden, parallel tracks. We'll pin that one for the moment. Okay. The imprint of someone's face. Hello, ducks. Oh no, we have found a duck addiction.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
But none of the pointy tools were used on that someone's head, so that's probably a good thing.
A small Navy spyglass.
A small Navy spyglass. Alright, so there was a scuffle. And someone's face got planted in the grains. You know, this is a nice little shed. He's got dried herbs and he's got a key that I can't steal. Okay, fine. Oh, there's more clues. Often used parallel tracks. Grass doesn't grow here. Okay. A fallen.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it
logs.
elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
Okay, okay. My nose. My nose. It's trying to freak out. Stop it.
A scrap of Hessian. A scrap of Hessian.
Hessen. Okay. Do not know what that is.
These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
Like someone's face, perhaps? Alexa, shut up. I was not talking to you. Alright, we've got a toot of some sort.
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
Maori nose flute. Okay.
Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly?
Yes. Yes, he absolutely is. Alright, we got bone.
Mutton chops. The remains of a meal.
Ball. Or potato. Rock.
A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
The ashes are long since cold.
Okay. So the man had a meal and a snort, and then is gone.
Is this a Taniwha, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
I
Either way, it's giving me chills.
don't have an answer to that one.
No air coming through it.
Okay, can we peek at the ceiling? I mean, we can. It doesn't appear to be useful. I think this iteration of Holmes is rather clean cut, Ducks. But yeah, as I mentioned before you got here, I have not actually read any Holmes, so my sole engagement with Dr. Holmes is, with Sherlock Holmes in general, is through the more recent movies and stuff, and then games like this. But even then, not many games like this. But yes, I do recall there being an opioid problem in the Holmes movies. True. The boxes do look like they could have been used as a stand. And then face planting, so someone could have just been being startled. Thank you, Sparkle. I appreciate it. On behalf of Ducks. Gila, hi. Gila, hi. Alright, so what if we snap? Gila, hi. Alright, so in here. Alright. Okay. And then in here. So he was having a meal. He got kerblasted. And then he took a cart away for some reason. And or then he was hiding over here. Curious. Yes, no missing any of the Durlock. Okay. So, I'm still not entirely sure how this system works. I gotta get used to it. So, at the top we've got the different nodes that I've found. And there appear to be several sub-nodes for each node. So am I supposed to find where all these things went and then piece together? Or is there only one for each of these at the moment? Because like this one is that second one that just highlighted. And I have the option of next and previous, but there's no next and previous. There's just 3 dots to indicate that there could be a next and a previous. So I don't know if there's supposed to be a next and a previous for this one. Like, did I miss a thing? Not really sure. But so far I've only noticed one thing to investigate with my brain powers. Gila thing. Dumb Watson and Smart Watson. You can certainly try. Alright. So, what am I missing? Am I missing anything? Are we Mind Palace timing this? Also, can I go outside? Sir? Sir? You're being Tom Watson right now. Aha. I can't go out the back to look. Aha! Let me find a rag. So someone stuffed a rag.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
In the chimney is what I was going to say. Which then would have smoked him out. And caused him to, I don't know, stumble and fall. Or at the very least, trip him up. Alright, do we have any other brain powers? Okay. I will look at that link later. Okay, so we have clues and things. We have spyglass on the floor at Kimihia's shack. We have fresh parallel tracks in the garden. Stack of clothes made of Hessian. I'm assuming, I don't know what Hessian is strictly, but I'm assuming it's some sort of poor or very rough material, based on Sherlock's mention that the owner is a cheapskate. And then we have the lodging entrance, crust crates, piece of cloth, some opioids in the fire, and then a sack of grain with imprint of a human head. Gila. Gila. Hello, Gila. Hello, Gila. Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty. I was also wondering that, Sparkle, because they make it look like he fell backwards, yet there's a face print. So maybe he just has the reflexes of a cat and got himself flipped, like, really quickly by, like, wiggling his butt midair, and then fell on his face when he was trying to right himself. It's true. He could have plugged the chimney himself so that the opioid burned and he hotboxed himself. That's very possible. Or he has a hidden second face on the back of his head. Yeah, meow. Alright, so can we mind palace this? I don't know if we can mind palace this directly, but let's investigate just a little bit first. I'm curious if we get like what the bonus is. Oh.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Okay. And a lock with an unusual keyhole. There's a key over here, but I can't seem to grab the key. So that's a thing. Alright. So let's try doing the Mind Palace thing. So where does Kimihia's trail lead? We've got several items. It says chewing tobacco remnants, when it was very clearly labeled as opioids earlier, but that's okay. They were probably trying to change their rating slightly. And then we've got a lot of things here. Oh, right, the chewing tobacco was the blob by the statue. That's correct. Okay. Okay. I wonder if this is going to get very overloaded quickly as we get more clues and stuff from other bits and pieces of it. Or if at some point we're going to like switch chapters and get a fresh, clean slate or something. Because this is going to get overwhelming real quick. Alright, so we don't have documents and testimonies for our thing. We're just looking for 2 items and an observation. So we've got clues in Stenwick's garden, or a trail in Stenwick's garden. Or footprints in Stenwick's garden. Okay. So in my brain, he's barefoot. In my brain, all shots of him are barefoot. So then the question is, whose boots Unless they're trying to say he was wearing the boots because this is him kneeling. Because this is his kneeling and his foot location. So maybe the boot drawing is just, it is what it is. A very weird accountant. Indeed. I feel like there's a suspicious accountant going on here. Alright, so I'm not clear on what's going on here. He was chewing, he was kneeling, and he was hiding. He very recently took a cart out to go yonder. Somehow this cart track and this tipped over wood pile seems important. But he was also potentially attacked and drugged, or at least smoked out. Curious. Okay, so I think he left with the cart, took all of his important belongings and booked it. But what's with the smoke trail, or the smoke in the chimney thing? I don't get it. Where does his trail lead? Spyglass and chewing tobacco. And the trail in the garden. No. None of those things. So he's related to the Strand newspaper somehow? Loud bangs, thick red smoke. How is he related to the explosion? How on earth would my deductive brain put two and two together that he is the reason for the explosion? I don't get it. But also that means that we don't have enough clues yet to solve this because we don't have another item to link this to. Curious. Am I supposed to be able to deal with this key? Let's go talk to, what's his face again. Is there anything else over here? Well, the explosion on the docks was just saltpeter, though, so not drug-worthy, at least. Tell me of this key.
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
But that's my examination. Alright, fine. Someone blocked the chimney pipe.
Are you joking? Why would I know this?
Okay. His shack. It's very shack-like, and it looks like there was a scuffle.
Where on earth are you going with this?
Okay. Do you not provide him with clothing?
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
He found it distracting. Fresh tracks in the garden. Logs tipped over. Garden cart, yada yada.
Are you joking? Why would I know this?
Okay. Spyglass, do you know anything about that?
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
Okay. Do you know about these tracks? And who was behind the statue?
I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Fuck off! Do you chew? Does he chew?
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
Doesn't drink, or you don't pay him enough to drink. Alright, size 11.
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest, but I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
So he was barefoot. Okay. This guy's gotta be supplying the drugs. Or someone snuck in and planted the drugs in his fire pit and plugged his chimney so that when he went to go light his evening meal, the drugs caught and smoked him out or drugged him up. Alright, so we can't get the key, we're not allowed. Apparently we can kick that axe around. Okay. Okay, so we have updated clues, so we can probably mine Palace again. Only those two have keys. Only ever worn sack clothing and no shoes. And the spyglass is probably someone else's. Okay. Alright. So chewing tobacco remnants were not the thing. I don't think this is it, but we'll see. And let's go with footprints. No, not footprints. Strange lock. And chewing tobacco. No. Crappy clothes. And something about the mansion. No. Alright, I'm out of items. Curious. I know that the linking in the Mind Palace is very squidgy, yes. So the way that this works is you have to link all three items before it will check it and validate it, basically. And since I don't have any more items, the only item I've got is the newspaper, which apparently is related to this somehow. I'm not quite following how we're supposed to know some of these things. I know Sherlock is very deducey in his head, but the Strand newspaper being related to this incident somehow doesn't make sense to me. And the fact that we got it just by virtue of it being the only option left is a little bit strange. So we're definitely missing stuff. Oh. Oh. Now we have different options. We have Mystery Mannequin doing the things. Okay. Okay. What? Ah, okay. Okay, so now we've changed the imagination is what this is. So we changed the imagination to show a mysterious figure blocking the chimney. And then coming out here and probably dragging him out after drugging him and knocking him unconscious with the smoke. Would you mind getting in the way of my imagination, sir? So then, after blocking his chimney pipe and probably supplying the drugs in his fire, he has knocked out our poor Maori man, and then was dragging him out and tripped over some boxes and face planted in the grains. So, haha to you, sir. And then he was probably responsible for carting him out. And he also knocked over the woodpile where the cart normally would be, because he was not being very careful with covering his tracks. And then over yonder, we have Mystery Man hiding and spyglassing to wait for the right moment. Not entirely sure what the difference is between these two. Like, why would he be just kneeling versus kneeling with spyglass? I'm going to assume he was kneeling with spyglass waiting for the right moment. Now, what does that actually do for me now that I have the imagination in place? I have imagined the imaginings that could be imagined. What am I supposed to do with that information then? Sir? I'm gonna need you to duck walk your way out of here, sir. Get out of here. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Fighting with him for position all the time. Alright, so can we mind palace that now? No, we still don't have any. So what does the imagination accomplish? Do we... Imagination. Press to activate concentration in order to interact with imagination. Inside concentration, small spheres, synapses, will appear near the important clues. New figures unlock while you progress through the investigation. Interact with the synapses to switch between several interpretations of the scene. Some figures or objects are anchored to help you. Standing close to an imagination figure will reveal more details. On the screen, synapse chart will help you browse through the alternatives for each scene. F appears when all the synapses are activated. Hold it to check to see if your interaction was correct. So there's supposed to be a hold F to do a thing? Is that in here? No. That's understandable, I sucks. Imagination. It did mention pinning things, and what it mentioned was you pin a clue, such as this, to have a chance to even see the thing that's going on. Well, I remember selecting the imaginations in order from a different game. But I thought I'd just have to... Key missing. I didn't even see that before. Okay. So is that my last remaining thing? No. No, it's not. Curious. Well, now that doesn't have a thing anymore because I found whatever it was. So when I so I have to pin the clue before I can even use imagination to notice that the thing was missing. So I couldn't notice that that key was missing until I pinned the clue about the key. Now we've got this thing that wasn't here before to show either our man or mystery mannequin was responsible for using it. Now we have all of them selected at the top. Now I can F to validate. Hello, Valuna. I'm still trying to figure out how to play before I can win, but we'll find out.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense. Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Valuna, I'm sure there's a service out there for that.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
Quit being a cunt. Alright. Someone had eyes on him.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
I don't like this man.
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
Shut your trap, I'm almost done.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know?
Oh my God,
Why
this man.
haven't you found him yet?
Oh my God, this
I
man.
only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
Wub, wub, wub. Silence.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that.
Jesus Christ.
Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news.
I already asked for the
in
key and you were a cunt
meantime,
about it.
Please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Oh my God, this guy. This guy. Swear to God.
Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
Howdy, Iron Ninja, how you doing? Also, why do I need the key when I could go around the wall. Unless this is further into a more of his walled estate that I don't have access to. It's very possible. I don't actually know. This does... I guess there are a bunch of gates, so I probably couldn't have gotten back here, but still. This is effectively public land, right? Like, I could have just gotten here from there. Alright, that's fine. We're imagining. Ooh, noises. Noises. Safi just sobbed. Thank you, Safi. Appreciate it. Alright, so we're following the trail.
Yes, Denwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please try to remain courteous.
You'll note I did not snap at him and yell at him. Oh god, ad break. Alright, we shall continue following the tracks. Sir? Calm yourself. Ah, we found another doll. What's all this then?
What does it say? What does it say?
That I'm trying to.
What does it say?
I don't want to know what it says. I just want the doll. Give doll.
No seams or torn fabric on this doll. Likely one-legged by design.
Okay, there we go. She was Scarlet Letter Aid. Poor doll. I found the card.
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair.
Alright.
Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahir's cart, I gather.
Aha.
A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Yeah, Doctor. Would you? Roy Soulsby.
Could that be the name of our man?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Ah.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
Saltpeter. So I did the Mind Palace guessing before I got the saltpeter clue. So now I am to understand how saltpeter plays into it with the newspaper. Poo.
A large pile of horse droppings.
I love how that's a clue.
Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab waiting here. Our abductor slipped in and then off into the night.
Gasp. Horse droppings. Alright, do I have any clue things that need to be clued? What are the notable features of the abductor? Good question. He ties sailors' knots. He had a wallet, possibly with a name. And good God, all right. He had a shoe. No, but the sailor's knot was one of them. We don't really have any other information about the abductor yet, do we? I kind of would assume that the, oh. I guess the calling card might have been it? Roy Soulsby. Okay, the calling card was it. I guess I picked the wallet thinking that the wallet was part of the calling card. And then all of this stuff, I have no bloody clue. So we'll leave that for the moment. Okay, but we did not have any clues that need the pinning to do the investigation. And we already have 2 of the 3 dolls. Not that I will necessarily remember where the dolls go once I find the last one. Well, then we have tire tracks here. Sir, follow that cab. Which one? Don't ask which one. Just follow it. That's what they always say in the movies, right? Alright, so we had cart tracks, or taxi tracks coming from this away. Going this away. Am I supposed to be able to follow them from here? It doesn't look like it. Unless this is it. Which could be, I suppose. I still don't understand your Jam Watson comments. Well, that's a fancy looking doodad. That is a very interesting looking steam cart. Alright. Am I to assume that following these trails randomly is not helpful? Alright, let's go back and talk to Mr. Dude Man. Maybe tell him that his person was abducted. And maybe he'll continue to be a jerk about it, but maybe he'll give me more information.
Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
I will fisticuff you so hard. Ah, get out of me. Okay, so they have not made this terribly easy on me. And by that I mean I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But let's look up the calling card. And his abduction. No. Lock. Sailor's knot. No. Wallet with saltpeter, because it's related to the Strand. And Abductor's Trail. No. The Shack. Son of a bitch. Chimney. Running out. Barnes and Fleming love each other. They must be related to this somehow. No. Okay. No. Okay, I didn't think so. So we don't have whatever observations there might be to continue following that trail. It's possible I missed something out in the garden. No, it's not my dog, sadly. I don't have a dog. If there is a dog to be had, I don't have it. Alright, so our trail ran a little bit cold once we had the confirmation that the taxi was waiting here for the pickup. So the cart was dumped, the body was put into the taxi, and they left. And that was the last of my clues. So from here, I don't know exactly what I should be looking for unless those trails are actually supposed to be my clue. Which is possible. I mean, it makes sense. That would be the direction the taxi went. But this only seems to lead to, I guess, either of those two directions. So let's go this way, see if there's anything. Boy, did you see anything?
I'll stand watch.
Nope.
Just in case the strange man comes back.
Yeah. Is the point I am trying to make here? No, I don't see anything that could possibly lead me to where we're supposed to be going. Unless this is it. Taxi went in here. Do you suspicious people know anything? You, the one peeing, who has never stopped peeing for the last hour and a half. You good? Do I need a doctor? You right there? What about here? Anyone leave any bodies over here? No. Yeah, I get that you gotta go when you gotta go, but a dude's been going for a long time now. Alright, so what am I missing? I am most definitely missing something. But I definitely cannot find the thing I'm missing. And I was expecting to get to Spooks and Tentacles tonight. But I am barely managing to piece together a basic run-of-the-mill kidnapping. We got all this. We found this whole situation happening. Being kidnapped, being let out the door. Gone this way. Oh yes. Oh yes. You notice the stream title down below. Sherlocking the Lovecraft. This is Sherlock Holmes meets Lovecraft. Most likely Cthulhu is involved in this one. So what am I missing? Sir?
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
I was hoping you would be more useful than that. Apparently I was wrong. What do I even pay you for? Sherlock Holmes games are just like this? Okay, well that's comforting, but does not bode well for my future of solving this game. Because I'm not seeing anything that's obvious in terms of like what comes next. And I can't pin any evidence that would help me pinpoint the next step. Let's see. So we got the sailors not identified. And let's go with, I don't know, cloth and chimney. The strand. Footprints. So footprints are a feature of the abductor. Spyglass, perhaps. Spyglass was a feature of the abductor. Okay. Particular knot, a spyglass, and the footprints of a working man's boot all add up to the conclusion that Kimihia's abductor is a sailor. Okay. And then does that then give me sailor? Alright. Apparently I did it. We now know that Kimihia's kidnapper is most likely a sailor, that his wallet bears saltpeter residue, and that there was a recent saltpeter accident on the Port of London. Everything suggests that to find Kimihia, we need to head to the Port of London. There's no time to lose. It is vital that we find a cab to the Port of London immediately. Port of London. Port of London, Port of London. Port of London. Port of London. Okay.
The strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident, Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London.
The Port of London.
The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
Where? To the Port of London, perhaps? Alright, Iron Ninja. Can I have a cab, sir? Cannot return after leaving. Be sure to finish everything you wanted to do here. Oh. I see. So, where would I find the third doll? Because I want to do that thing. Someone left their hat behind. Kitty. I can't pet this kitty either. This is the worst game ever. Where, oh where? Oh, the horse was just laying down. Neat. Where, oh where would I find the last doll? There's just a most of a pig chopped and laying open. Nice. Hello, horsey. Do you have a doll? You do not have a doll. Aha!
Seems to be for me.
So, I know it seems to be for me. But I haven't been able to actually grab
Seems to be for me.
any of these letters that these dolls have had.
Unnaturally bent legs, yet they look to be a design choice.
T for little Timmy. Alright, so we have these things now. A little boy with bent legs, there's a T on it. We also have the girl without a leg, there's an A on it. And then we have the boy with a black dirt on his face, there's a C on it. Okay, so now we need to go back and find the thing. I don't know if we're never coming back here. It seems kind of odd that we would leave 221 Baker Street and never return. That does not seem very Sherlock of us. But it is telling me that we are leaving and never returning. So I'm going to have to trust it, and we need to finish this thing before we're done. I just need to remember where the doll thing was. Here. Ah, here we are. Moriarty is continuing to prevent us from petting the pets. Sparkle is preventing Sparkle from preventing the prevents. I keep forgetting I drank all my coffee already. Okay, so we have the coal miner child. Was I supposed to get those notes off of those dolls? I couldn't inspect them further, could I? Like, I can't inspect it further. Can I? Nope, okay.
Charles.
Charles. And then this would be the one-legged girl.
Anne.
Anne. Someone want to look up these dolls and see if I should have been able to get those notes? Oh, it's Tom, not little Timmy. Charles, Anne, and Tom. We have their keys. They are in their correct place. And now we can open up and steal from the orphans. Death certificates. Anne Coldrain, age 12, cause of death, blood loss due to leg injury. Tom Gill, age 5, smog poisoning. Charles Potter, age 14, severe burns and debilitating injuries. Well, that's not as great of a present as I thought I'd be getting. Mary, Charles, Anne, and Tom. So Tom's dead, Anne's dead, Charles is dead. Mary's probably fine.
Tom, Charles, Anne, and Mary.
And this is probably Mary.
Last doll. Seems recently made.
Okay. And then there's a spot here for her to go. To the smartest pigeon of them all. You finally made it. You found the last piece of the puzzle. But it's not only the last piece in this hunt. It is the last piece ever, my street pigeons. I know to a lot of you my riddles were only a glint of light in your day, but shining that soul beam meant surrounded by complete darkness. With Charles's death, the third of our foursome, my lips have lost the ability to smile. Life has forced us to work where we don't belong, squeezing what little light we had out of us. Each day ended with me praying that the next, when I'd have to climb down the chimney again, breathe those awful fumes, listen to all the screams, would never come. I don't even know how to pray. My friends thought I was the strongest, but with every loss I felt smaller and weaker, and now I feel nothing at all. So, goodbye. I hope that one day you can fly away to warmer places, happier times, and never again be forced to give up your lives for scraps.
Not sure I like the treasure hunt's ending.
I'm not sure I like the treasure hunt's ending either.
No. Solving this crime is beyond my reach. It is society who must work on sparing children from death by hard labor.
I see. Well, that was the most depressing treasure hunt I have ever taken part of. That was wonderful. So there was a quartet of children who played and had games and made treasure hunts and enjoyed their lives, but one by one they perished through the hard trials and tribulations of existing as a child in London. And the final one remained, having lost all of her friends, and she just gave up on life. Great. 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 Alright. So how many new hats? And some outfits. What about Watson's outfit? I'm not really liking the tannish outfit. All right. Let's go with something a little bit more dour, a little bit darker to meet the new mood that we just brought upon ourselves. And then I will bundle up against this cold and depressing sadness that just hit us like a wave. Alright, there. Now we are properly dark and London-y. Stage settings for turning glass rods to show water moving? Interesting. I don't think I've seen that. Oh, you're talking about this thing. You know, I've never seen one of those, but it is neat. And it definitely works. Okay, well, now that we are properly depressed, it's time to leave this place. Sorry. Sir, take me away from this depressing hellhole.
Where to, Gav? The Port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
Port of London. Port of London. Port of London. Port of London. The Blood Red Knight. Port of London. Port of London. Port of London.
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
Huh. One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
I did not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps, before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once, I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into my hand. A gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor. After that...
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
And you were rescued?
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimahir?
I said I was leaving the Depression of London, not bringing more with me. So, Sparkle, did it say how I was supposed to access those pieces of paper with the clues? Because every time I clicked on the piece of paper, it just said, I presume that's for me, or something of the sorts. I did find all the dolls, and I did solve that side quest, so we didn't miss it. But I definitely didn't figure out how to get those clues off those dolls. His time abroad? What about his time a lad? I'm not gonna judge. He can spend his time however he wants.
It appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them for staying at home. It's a large harbor. If our kidnapper is hiding here, finding him won't be easy. How can I help? I could try and flag someone down. If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie? If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
I would actually really like a meat pie. That sounds wonderful. Sherlock can ask bystanders about a piece of evidence. Press C to open the casebook, pin the evidence with X, and then speak to someone. Try it now with the calling card. Alright. Oh, see, all of our evidence has been nuked, and we're starting over. Okay, so we have the option of asking passers-by. I'm assuming that's what this icon indicates. By pinning it. Okay. Now I need to find a random passerby. You, sir. You, sir.
Do you know anything about this?
I think I can help you.
Oh. The man usually wanders close to the dockyard. Well, thanks, bud. Appreciate you. What about you, sir?
May I ask you something?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, what was that noise? Kitty, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. Gizmo's just hiding behind my computer, bouncing off of things. Okay, so we need to continue asking passersby. Hello, Gizmo. Horse, do you know anything? Whisper me your secrets, Horse. Tell me everything you know. I know you've got the blinders on, but you still must see things. Whoop. I grabbed him mid-jump. Kitty, Tommy. Okay, you may leave. Okay. Horse will not tell me his secrets. So, this pinning thing is great and all, but it does take up a lot of visual real estate. So I kind of want to leave it unpinned until I need to ask someone. Cannot jump. Okay. Knock knock. Anyone in the crapper? Have you seen this person? No? Okay. The Cursed Mermaid. We are walking in.
Oh, hardly a reputable establishment.
I've seen worse.
This actually looks kind of similar to one of the establishments that was in... I don't think it was in the Sinking City. I think it was in... possibly Call of Cthulhu. I don't remember for sure. No. It might have been... oh, which one was it? It wasn't in the Shore. The Shore didn't have any establishments. What was the other one? I don't remember. There was another one where we show up on the beach of something like Innsmouth. Was that the Sinking City? No. Yes? No. Yes. Maybe? I don't remember. I have played a lot of Lovecraftian games in the last couple of years, so it's hard to keep them all straight sometimes. But it's lovely nonetheless. Can I pet this kitty? Damn it, Mycroft! No, not Mycroft. Moriarty. The other guy. The other M. Ma'am?
Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
We need help finding a man. No. It is time to stare at her and try to figure out who she is. You, ma'am. You have a thing on your chin. You have chapped lips. Perfect. You have vomit stains from morning sickness. Or, you know, you got vomited on from being in a pub. She's got a bit of a distended belly. Now, Sherlock, I do so hope you know that it's not polite to just walk up to this lady and say, congratulations on your pregnancy. You know that that's not polite, right? Her trousers are a little tight. Yeah. She tries hiding it, or she is unaware. I mean, she might be unaware. It could be too early for her. So, barmaid is in the early stages of pregnancy, hence the slightly distended belly and hints of morning nausea. Chapped lips and a pale face indicate lack of proper nutrition, however. She tries hiding her swollen belly by wearing trousers that are too tight for her. Or she clearly has yet to know of her pregnancy as she keeps wearing her usual clothes, which are now too tight. You know what? Let's assume she's unaware. And Sherlock, for the love of God, please don't mention it. Great. Okay. You are with child. He can't help himself. All right. So, when's the shower? Am I invited? I need help finding a man.
My colleague and I are seeking a burly man, above average height, with workman's boots.
Half my customers, then. Your description hardly narrows things down.
She's got a point. What about this calling card?
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name, but he's not one of my regulars. My guess is that he works somewhere around here.
About the port incident.
I heard tell of a recent
The Port of
explosion
London.
in the port. What do you know of it?
Ah, yes. Something exploded in a ship's cargo hold. Caused a terrible blaze. The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
The ship sank near the third pier, next to the dockyard.
Alright, I can't help it. I can't help it. Congrats.
Miss, what if I told you that you are in the family way?
No, really? Oh, thank you, sir. How would I, a simple woman, have ever known without your help? You must be a doctor.
In a manner of speaking.
He's not. He merely has the ego of one. I apologize, miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here, not him. Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. Would rather not discuss my condition, nor let word of it spread.
I love how she talked down to him immediately. So I was holding his face, and he was chewing my palm, trying to get a good grip. He was just like... Tickets to Oakmont, Massachusetts are still available. The Charon will depart next Tuesday from Pier N2. Will destroy pests of any kind and complexity. Accepted payment cash only. Ask for Garant. Help! Garvish missing for a week. Please tell him please tell if you see him. Ask Daya in Port Shantytown. Red flag over house entrance. Aha! I have someone I can find. There's the back door. Oh. Oh. It's literally the other door, and I didn't even notice it was sitting here. Alright, I'm smart. See, this is why I'm going to struggle with this game, because I am not observant. In the least. You, sir.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Can you satisfy my other curiosity? A wonk. No? Okay. What about you?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Alright, fine. Ma'am?
Is this familiar to you?
I can't help you with this.
Okay, fine. You. I can't actually reach you. Like... Sir!
Could you help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Okay, fine. Alright, what do we got over here? We have a dock. Okay. That would be exactly as expected. At the Port of London. Port of London. Port of London! See, this, right here, this. Dried fish or preserving fish hanging on sticks. Like, this is the exact item I was talking about in Survival Fountain of Youth. That would be perfect as a decorative item to place on our docks. Because, like, you see this all the time in all sorts of different games as just decorative items on piers and docks and stuff. That is a fish hanging from a tree. But like that item right there. I want that for my other game so I can decorate. Oh my god. Sir, get out of the way. Puppy! Puppy flopped over. I will pet the puppy in spirit.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
No.
You want a fishy?
Okay. So this place is lovely. As dreary as one would expect from the Port of London. Note. Help Gervish missing for a week, please. Okay, that's the exact same note from before. Okay, you.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
She knows nothing.
Very sick here. It sounds as though those people will need my help.
New case. The Silver Tide. There's a call for help. Can I...
Hello, this is Dr. Watson. We'll take a look at your phone.
Well, that one just looks dead. Meanwhile...
Could you help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
What about you?
May I ask you something?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer.
Okay.
You should ask someone else.
Okay. So what's going on here? My imagination says you are sick. Decolorized skin, severe blistering, initial stages of necrosis.
The subject is hyperventilating. He has a pale face and dilated pupils. Freshly dug up treasures, it seems.
Everything ends up in a river. It's a good thing these people take something from it.
The water has a curious whitish tinge to it. Dilated pupils, decolorized skin, necrosis. What do you make of this, Doctor?
All signs point towards acute poisoning. It could possibly be due to chemicals. I won't jump to any conclusions yet.
I mean, the river is a nice puke yellow and is loaded with a bunch of chemicals from the explosion. I could hazard a guess or two.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper.
Okay,
Do you feel
sorry,
like a meat
sorry.
pie?
Just need to walk over your skull here for a moment. Anything else going on over here? Hard. Sorry. Yep.
What are you looking at? You like to watch how a man suffocates himself for food? What are you looking at? You like to watch how a man
If we stay out much
himself
longer,
for
I'm going to
food?
need some supper.
So
Do you feel like a
this,
meat pie?
Port Shantytown, someone called for a doctor. Perhaps Watson could be of help. Missing persons poster. Examination of a mudlark reveals signs of poisoning by hazardous substances contained in the water. Better look for the source of contamination upstream. Oh, okay. Which way is upstream? That way? Let's go that way.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Can I help? We have a doctor. He does a lot of freelance work. Do either of you know this man?
Do you know anything about this?
I can't help you with this.
Are you able to help me?
I can't help you with this.
What about this man?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't help you with this.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Okay. What about none of these things? Blorg. I also would think of the savory flavors of meat pie.
Almost no fish the last couple of days.
Okay, that's not what I asked, but okie dokie. Alright, so we're looking for contamination upstream. I'm assuming this away, but I couldn't say for sure. Are you a contamination upstream?
Pile of rotten food. It carries danger, but not of the kind that we witnessed.
Okay.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Gruesome. It's been decomposing for weeks. If this were the origin of the disease, it would have started sooner than a few days ago.
Gross.
The waterway goes under the buildings. We'll need to find other open sections in order to continue our search.
Alright. Can I go through here? Oh. Hello, random person's home. Tiny child,
Hello,
speak
lad.
to me.
Is this where I may find Dea?
You read the poster? Yes? You know where my brother Girves is?
Sadly, no. Well, not yet.
I accidentally stumbled into one part of the investigation I was trying to do. Where was your brother last seen?
Where did you last see Girves?
He worked at a, warehouse. This man, Roy Solby, gave him the job. He paid him a necklace.
Ah, so it all comes together.
I want to speak to Dea. Is she around?
Amma, my mother, she got sick after the fire. Big red smoke. She couldn't breathe, so I took her to the doctor. Now I am in charge.
Good for you. Tell me of this Soulsby.
How would you describe this Soulsby?
He was big and strong. He had a big scary eye.
Scary, you say?
Yes, like it was made of metal.
Ooh, a metal eye.
Do you still have the necklace that Soulsby gave to Girves?
Girves left it near the shrine. I tried to sell it to buy Amma medicine, but no one wanted to buy.
Don't go anywhere.
Yes, don't go anywhere. Don't go and leave your own home for whatever reason. Yeah. Alright, let us investigate. Apparently, the boy is Nepalese. Aha! Shiny.
This cheap pendant looks like silver, but it's only made of tin. No surprise the boy couldn't sell it.
Boo. Oh, so I took it. Okay. Alright.
I miss Girves. Do you think he's okay?
Is anyone ever really okay in this day and age in London? Probably not.
I should have helped Amma put out the posters. If she hadn't been in the smoke so long, maybe she wouldn't be sick.
That is unnerving, Iron Ninja. Okay, so I can't go this way to find the other side of the water. Okay, so this was the red flag that hangs over the house. I didn't recognize it as red flag, nor was I looking for it, so that's how I stumbled into their abode. Oh, we do have a map. Okay, good. So we have Shantytown, the Cursed Mermaid. This is the Cursed Mermaid, so this is roughly where we came in. And then this is the river that we're currently along. This is Daya's house, which is unfortunate because it doesn't mark it, so finding again is probably going to be tricky. Okay. So we need to go over here or over here to find more sources of the poisoning. So that's probably going to be a longer term investigation because I don't think we can go through this away. So I think we're going to have to go this way. So let us go back and cross that bridge. You guys, have you seen anything?
May I ask for your assistance?
Oh, sorry, I know nothing.
They know nothing. Okay. The Star of Gibraltar is seeking a carpenter and an able seaman. Yeah. Right to Captain Ahab. Leadenhall Street. So, that is shockingly close to Captain Ahab. Is this a reference to a thing? Because I don't remember the Star of Gibraltar, but I also haven't read Moby Dick, so I don't know for sure if that's the same Ahab that it's referencing. It could be. Strong men needed for honest work. Apply for details at the pub any Wednesday. Yo, tell me things.
May I ask you something?
Oh, sorry, I know nothing.
You know nothing. Okay. Okay. So we're also looking for. Let's focus on this one. And then we also have Nepali Boy's testimony and the sick mudlark, which is unrelated. They're supposedly. You, tell me things.
Are you able to help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Okay, fine. Silver Blaze, the best kitchen coal to warm one's heart and home. Noises. Thank you, Sparkle. I'm out here now. Ad break in 3 minutes. Yeah. Is there anything out here? You know what I kind of miss from the sinking city is the boat ride. The ability to just drive or navigate the boat through the streets of what appeared to be a London-ish city. That might indeed be a good time to get more drink. Alright, before we step into the next part of town, 3-minute break. Stand up, get some stretches, get some drinks. Go blink your little eyes in case you haven't been blinking like me. Baby. Okie dokie. So we are about to step into the new area. The blue area, I suppose. I think I'm right here, pretty sure. Moderately positive. Tell me things.
Excuse me, just one question.
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Okay. I tried. I also noticed that they forcefully changed my outfit. They changed it into the one that the cutscene wanted, and now I'm in this outfit instead of the one that I picked. Oh well, it's fine. Okay, so what do we got? We got stuff and things. Ma'am.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Bonk. Ma'am?
You are lucky to find me.
Oh. People say that Mr. Solby may have gone to watch that ship that exploded yesterday near the 3rd pier. Okay. About you.
Excuse me, just one question.
Bonk.
No, sorry, I know nothing.
Is this the outfit with the thong? The world may never know. Yep.
May I ask for your assistance? Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
Okay. Alright, so we went this way, and now we're walking along this boat here. Okay. You, shady character.
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer.
Okay.
You should ask someone else.
I think by the time they get to the point of saying, I don't think anyone here knows the answer, I think we've had all of the answers we're going to get. Which is fine. Alright, we're just looking around for stuff and things. Oh, okay. So this is the bridge, Fishy Man. Okay, so that's where this goes then. That then goes through here with this little dotted line passageway. I see. Learning to read the map. Alright. I was kind of hoping there'd be more information on that side, but that's okay. It's fine, Sparkle. I got this. You enjoy your burb. Ah. There's a door to this thing here. Interesting.
Ma Dalton swears she saw ghosts in warehouse too. The coppers even went over there. Must be serious.
Hmm. Ghosts, you say? It is a spooky looking warehouse. I can't get in it, but it does look spooky. Okay, so anything on this side of the boat? Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so this is Pier 3 where the explosion took place. Supposedly there's a throughway there. Interesting. That's a train. I was not expecting the train at the pier, but I guess I should. Okay, so yeah, this is a throughway here. Okay, got it. And then we found the warehouses this way. This place looks markedly important. The light over it and everything. But that's here. Okay. So right on the other side of this then is this place right here. Phenol, property of Spade Chemicals.
Phenol, a dangerous substance often used as a sanitizer, coming from Spade Chemicals.
We have dead fish. Brian, never load this trolley with more than half the weight of Danny Nutcracker, or 200 pounds at a time. She did the Mexican flamingo with Joshua, and the poor thing is not running well since. The trolley, that is. Joshua broke long ago. Also, the ship from Barbados asked for 1 ton of phenol, so let's hurry up. Alright. Not entirely sure I want to know who's doing which Mexican flamingo with who, but, you know, whatever. Alright, we're missing fish evidence.
The fish's scales have decolorized. What a disaster.
Indeed. Broken through by force recently. Cart tracks.
A recent cart crash.
Indeed. Fell sideways under the weight pressure, etc. So, we definitely had a kerboom happen here. So we can assume that what we found was not good. I am going to follow the tracks this way to the water, though. Because I have a feeling there's more to look at water-wise. Could be wrong. Ew.
Good evening, Constable. I heard some people talking of ghosts in this warehouse.
Gossips, all of them. An old lady neighbour saw some lights and ghostly shapes in the middle of the night. She heard music too. Turns out this was the warehouse of Grandpa Kujak. He owned a business with theatre props for scary shows. I went in and... well, it is a bit creepy. But I think it was probably just some kids fooling around.
Do you mind if I take a look inside?
Not at all. It's like Madame Tussauds, only worse. I'll be on the beat round the pub for the rest of the night. Damned explosion. Good night, sir.
Alright. Investigation scene found. Alright, I'm gonna finish the water thing first, just so we're not too distracted.
This pipe disposes of wastewater from a factory. A possible culprit, but would likely have caused trouble a long time ago. Moving on.
Moving on. So indeed, several sources of contamination in this river, but the phenol crash is probably the one.
Waste. Despite looking fairly hazardous, I doubt it could cause such acute poisoning.
No, it causes rather ugly
I can't see any other
poisoning.
major source of contamination in this section of the waterway. Perhaps another place.
Okay, so we found everything we need here, and we can't go back to the beginning. So let's backtrack, and I just want to kind of. Say that again. Okay, so we're here. We're here. Where does this go? That goes this way, I think. Human and industrial waste, you say? Sounds delicious. No, I can go that way, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's solve the poisoning problem, shall we? I probably didn't actually need to come over here for this, but I figured we should be doing the Mind Palace thing in the place that would help us think it through the most. So we've got the cart accident. I'm supposed to ask people about the cart accident. Okay, so let's do that. Because we also have Soulsby's calling card, we have memo to employee, haunted warehouse. So haunted warehouse is separate. But we have this one, the cart accident. Let's ask people about the cart accident. I probably should have done that when we were near the cart accident, but whatever, it's fine. Yo, tell me about the thing.
Could you help me? I think I can help you.
Spade Chemicals building is located at Warehouse 5. Wonderful.
Could you help me?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, so let's go that way then.
Coffee won't go away. Doctor's too pricey.
Ah, time to get wasted. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. You.
Help me, please.
No, sorry.
Bonk.
I know nothing.
I love the running into people and then asking them to help. All right, so we need to find Warehouse 5, wherever that is. We found Warehouse 2 and we found Warehouse 10. Just need to find the other one. I think this is the way to the warehouses. Hello again, Kinder. Welcome. That's a 3. You, tell me 5.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Okay, fine. Be that way. Couldn't even provide me directions to Warehouse 5. 3, 4, 6. So it's 5 through here. 12. Why does that one have an X on it? Probably related to something else later. You, tell me where Warehouse 5 is.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, sir, I can't help
fine. Y'all are useless with directions. Okay, Warehouse 4. Warehouse 3. Warehouse 2. And then we've got warehouse 6. So 4's there, 6 is there, 7's there. What the hell's 5? That one's 10. So I think I have had eyes on every single warehouse except for 1, 5, and 9, I think. Yeah, 1, 5, and 9, I think. Sir, can you help me?
I don't believe in ghosts. I did when I was a kid.
Alright, I know you're kind of hooked on that process. Where's warehouse 5? 5! Haha, we found 5. Yo.
Barrels of phenol from your company ended up in the canal. It has poisoned people. You will need to clean it up properly. Otherwise, we will inform the authorities.
What the? We will call the cleaning brigade immediately. I hope this can stay between us.
Perhaps. Perhaps indeed.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't help you with that, sir.
I'm asking him about his own incident. Okay. Search for contamination led to a small bridge. There are cart tracks near the barrier. It looks like a cart has fallen sideways under the pressure of its weight. Broken barrels are floating in the water. The inscription reads, "Phenol, a property of Spade Chemicals. Dead fish have surfaced. Spade Chemicals representative promised to deal with the pollution. Mudlarks are still waiting for instructions." So I gotta go back to them then and tell them what's going on. And I don't have an investigation. Okay. So now we go back to them.
Yes, it really let me help them.
Ow, sorry. Oh, there's 1. Okay, we found 1. I don't know why 1 and 5 are next to each other. Well, the other ones are in sequential order. Whatever, it's fine. Wi-Fi is worse than usual. That's unfortunate. Could be they're dealing with a little bit of an overload right now. I know you mentioned they're hosting various cleanup crews and other aid people. I need to go this way. I keep not seeing this as a pass-through.
Almost no fish the last couple of days.
Yeah, because they're all dead, bud. Sorry to tell you. Alright, everyone.
Gentlemen, the doctor here and I have found the source of the contamination. Spade Chemicals will take care of it.
That's pretty good news. But how long will it take? And what about our friend? Will someone pay for his treatment?
Pressurize the company. But for now, get rid of the stained clothes and rinse any phenol-affected skin. No one else should touch the canal today.
Thank you, we'll do that. Let's go to the cheap doctor for help.
The cheap doctor, you say? Alright, so we have solved that case. Wonderful. Oh, you're not doing that yet. You're the only person in the hotel. Well, then I got nothing. I got nothing. That guy is most likely dead. Like, he's got necrosis in the hand, and he's pale and face down in the mud. I'm pretty sure he's just dead.
What are you looking at? You like to watch our
Alright, let's
man
go
suffocate
check out
himself for food?
a haunted warehouse. Assuming I can remember how to get back to the haunted warehouse.
Mal Dalton swears she saw ghosts in warehouse 2.
I know, I'm trying to get there, lady.
Went over there. Must be serious.
Pretty sure it was this way? That way. Alright, we're going in. We're investigating a haunted warehouse. It is indeed rather spooky. Spooky.
An effective contraption. It still works.
Spooky. Can I use my special eyes? No. Spooky.
There was a box in the coffin. It was removed quite recently.
Hmm. There was a box.
They opened the casket and left marks.
I can't move anywhere else. Yeah. Ah, blood.
A herbal odor with an acylic base. Liquor?
Okay. Oh, there's lots of dots in here. Alright.
Phosphorus, used recently.
You don't say.
Where is this going?
It's random boot prints. Going up. I see. Fascinating. Quite the trick you got there. A boot.
Somebody had fun.
Empty space.
Several crates are
Some missing crates. Okay.
Bottles of various shapes and sizes. I detect a mix of chemicals and aromas. No brand or markings. It looks like a bulk product.
Okay. That's just spooky.
Inspired by the legend of Sleepy Hollow. A small cart left those tracks.
I didn't intend to leave, but that's okay. Alright, what do we got here? We have mystery man hauling carts. Or mystery horse leading cart out. No, they definitely had a small cart. He was chemicalizing things. Or he was being haunted by things. Alright, let's go with the chemicaling things. This one. He was either ghostly walking on the ceiling, or he was using his hands with boots. Okay. And the last one over here. Either putting things into the thing, or he was in the thing. Probably that, yeah. Okay, so whatever was going on here, there was cart of chemicals being taken out, lots of various chemicals that were in the warehouse that were removed and otherwise tinkered with. Oh. Oh.
Who is
Spooky
this
noises.
intended to scare?
Spooky noises. Okay, so pretty sure someone set up the haunting using boot prints and phosphorus and spooky noises to cover their tracks for stealing whatever was in this place after doing some chemical work. Yeah.
Somebody played with phosphorus to give the illusion of ghosts or ectoplasm. In reality, they were here to mix a few ingredients and prepare a solution of some sort. Then they took a box hidden inside the casket. And they left through that gate with a small cart.
Indeed. Ad in 2 minutes already? Jesus. You'd think a 3-minute ad would be enough to buy me a little bit more time. Alright, so we have the real warehouse. Someone is using the warehouse to produce an unknown beverage. Their cart can be tracked to find out more. Let us do that.
Dr. Tippett's electric pectobrain. Patent medicine of the future.
Electric
This is a
pectobrain.
medicine. A quick fix at an expensive price that drags the patient slowly into death.
That sounds like a problem.
Could you help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
What about you? You probably saw something up here, right?
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Okay, thank you. So we found this. This is probably not it though. But we need to find the cart. So I guess this way? No, not this way. Interesting. So what am I missing? Because we got the maybe the cart just led to that bottle and that was the end of that trail. Yeah, that's the. So now Dr. Tippett's electric pectobrain. Patent medicine of the future. A unique formula that helps with vertigo, weakness, coughing, toothache, lung pain, and asthma. Strength and happiness for all patients for a fraction of the price of other patent medicines. Results guaranteed. Only natural ingredients. So let's ask random passersby about this one.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I think I can help you.
Dr. Tippett's electric pectobrain can be found in shanty towns. It is dispensed in a yard to the sick and suffering. Okay. In shanty towns, you say? We happen to have a shanty town over yonder. So let's go over yonder. Okay, all the mud people are gone, which is good. They listened to my advice. Probably the rotting corpse of their friend probably helped with that.
The doctor's too pricey.
Alright, you two, talking about coughing. Do you know anything about this?
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, I can't help you with this.
Okay.
The coffee won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Okay.
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
No, that's too much pecking the brain.
Too pricey.
That's too much. Too much. Alright, so we're looking for.
The coffee won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Looking for some sort of evidence.
Help me, please.
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
It is a shame you can't answer my question. Maybe we look at the red door or the glowing door. Oh, I am aware. And it's a gruesome habit. You, do you know anything about the drug problem?
Never heard of it.
Do you know of this pendant?
Doesn't look like anything to me.
Do you know about the Nepali boy's testimony?
Have you been drinking?
What about missing person?
What do you know about this poster?
A foreign woman asked to put it up. She's plastered them all over the pool.
Any clues as to her whereabouts?
None. It was hard to understand what she was saying.
Okay. Know anyone with a metallic eye?
Have you ever heard of a man with a metallic eye?
I've seen him even. Dirty Summers is the name. A nasty lout, with a silver ball in place of a missing eye.
I shudder to ask, but where does one find a Dirty Summers?
He likely signed on with a ship. I am not one to spy on others, let alone him.
I see.
My advice, keep away from him.
Meow, you say. Okay, so we're finding a little bit more information about the missing person. Not necessarily about the drug problem that's happening. You.
Could you help me?
Nope. Sorry, I know nothing.
Okay. Dr. Tippett's electric pecto brain can be found in shanty towns dispensed in a yard. Okay, do I have a yard? I mean, this is kind of sort of yardish. Where is that? I have no idea where that is. Is that where I'm at currently? Is that what the yard is? So this is river. River. And yeah, that was the yard. Or at least that's what appeared to be a yard. Okay.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Aha!
Where are we? The field hospital?
I see. This looks like the medicine.
Cart from warehouse 2.
Medicine. And they've got a dead guy on a stick. How macabre. You. Doctor. 'Tis time to get a good look at you, sir. Just imagine someone doing that, like out in the wild, just walking up to you and like crouching and looking all around you and peeking at all your business, getting all up close and personal about it. Almost doctor. Who? Okay. Who in their right mind, attempting to be a doctor, would just carry around a book that says almost doctor? Ah, he's got the glowing powder of phosphorus on him, you say. So, almost doctor. You're a babyface. The man appears too young to have completed medical university and therefore can hardly claim his doctor title. His hands are stained with phosphorus, most likely from the props warehouse. He's carrying a book on homemade medicine. He's trying to make a quick buck by exploiting people's naivety and despair. Or self-taught healer. He appears too young, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. He may have good intentions, but good intentions are a poor substitute for expertise. So, do we assume the best intentions of him, or do we assume that he is a ne'er-do-well? That only partly answers the question, the one. There are no best intentions. Alright. So we should assume he is a charlatan. Got it. See, every time I have picked one of these, I have been incorrect. I have demonstrably been proven incorrect every single time. So, I'm going to blame this one on you guys.
Good evening, sir. Are you the gentleman who sells that intriguing pecto-brain beverage?
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Thomas Tippett, and yes, its proud inventor and purveyor.
Are you a doctor? You seem remarkably young.
I'm self-educated. I help people in need around these parts with my medicine.
Helping, as in bringing to the grave?
That is unfair, sir. The virtues of my invention are to calm the nerves, to stop coughing due to the endless smog, and to help children to sleep.
Has your beverage been tested by your peers or any medical authority? I am a doctor, and it appears that you are playing with people's lives, people who place their trust in you to ease their pain.
People need help, and drugs are expensive. My formula helps, and it's inexpensive. The product is dispensed from here only, so dose and usage are controlled. I looked into other patented medicines. They contain harmful or useless substrate, and they're sold in respected shops and pharmacies.
Do you realize what you are doing? You are playing with people's health.
You are a doctor. Take a look at my product. You won't find mercury, radium, lithium, or any other toxic substances drowned in alcohol and sold freely by so-called health professionals. I can show you how I work. Let me help people.
Watson, what do you make of this situation?
I'm not sure. Patent medicines can be a scourge, yes, but he is not entirely wrong in practice.
Why the haunted warehouse?
Well, nobody was using it, and people are afraid of ghosts. It kept them away until today. What I do is not entirely legal, but I do help people.
We were wrong again. Every goddamn choice is wrong. This was marked as 1882. I don't know when we discover radium was bad, but he seems to be aware.
I help up to 50 people here every day. It is working. Almost all men die from their remedies rather than their diseases. I want to change that. Damn phosphorus. I thought it was funny, but you can't get rid of it. If everything goes well, I could open a cure centre in Lambeth, and even Whitechapel after that. If everything goes well, I could open a cure centre in Lambeth, and even Whitechapel after that.
It could be that you're wrong every time. It could be that they alter it so that it's tweaking your preconceived notions of people and stuff.
The patient has a high temperature and is short of breath.
Okay. This guy's just missing a leg. Bleeding all over the place. Alright.
I can hear the patient suffers with their lungs.
Fossy jaw ladies were 1920s per Google. Okay.
I can hear the patient suffers with their lungs.
I mean, it very well could be that it was suspected to be problematic beforehand, but there wasn't like a proper documented case or study about it until later. Okay. So
if we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper.
He's still obsessed with the meat pie. All right.
If everything goes
and he's
well,
talking about. Okay. Let's do investigation. Let's see. Anything here? Anything? Haunted warehouse. Yada yada. No. It's so squidgy. So we don't have a thing about this, so this is just purely an investigation doodad. So let's pin it and talk about it.
If everything goes well, I could open a cure center.
The patient.
We need to ask someone about it, so maybe we ask these ladies.
Excuse me, just one question.
I can't help you with this.
A popular radium energy drink was manufactured between 1918 and 1928. That's terrifying, actually. Okay, she's the only person that we can actually talk to, who we can ask questions of. So does she know anything?
What can I get you?
No, okay. Alright. So what am I supposed to do, though? Warehouse 2 at the port was subject to a search by the police after a report of ghosts. We investigated Warehouse 2. The deceased owner of the warehouse had a business with theater props, yada yada yada. Constable can be found around the Cursed Mermaid pub after the search should we need him. Thomas Tippett is distributing cure of his own to the port's inhabitants. He seems to be on his own mission to help those in need. The police can be informed of Tippett's activities, or Tippett can go on helping, albeit imperfectly. Okay, so can I even solve this one by an action? Because like I can inform the police, so that is an action that I can solve this one by. Is there one in favor of Tippett that I can do that closes out the case and counts it as completed? Because currently it's just left open and incomplete, unlike the Mudwater one, where we were able to close it by talking to the people and finishing the process. Average playthrough is 9 hours, casual 11, twin playthrough, more. I mean, I've actually been holding pretty steady to the expected playtime numbers, even with my farting around and failing and whatnot. So I would probably go towards 11. I don't necessarily need to know how many chapters there are. I mean, I guess I don't care, but I'm not too worried about it. I think we'll be fine. Probably 3 streams, give or take. I would like to know if there's a way to solve this one, though. Because everyone I can talk to, like Tippett and whatnot, are unconcerned, it appears. I do find it interesting that he's set up in a shack, a very obvious field hospital of sorts, and what he's doing is illegal. So he is very much in broad view of police, and no one's done anything about it. So do the police even care? I'm gonna go talk to the police if I can find him, and just see if I have the option of like closing out the mystery of the warehouse without turning in Tippett. Ah, here we go. There are signs of ghosts. Spooky. Very spooky inside of there.
Constable, I'm afraid we saw some troubling signs, unnatural even, inside the warehouse. Dr. Watson here can confirm it, and he's a specialist. It would be best to stay away for now.
Really? I'm 99% sure that ghosts don't exist, gentlemen. I won't report this to my colleagues after my shift. Some of them might be the naive sort who scare easy.
Okay. So that then solves out the mystery while helping our dude. Okay, good. Oh, fancy glasses. Look at them. I don't think they fit anything we're ever gonna wear, but they're definitely interesting looking. I dig them. Okay, we can just plague doctor. All right, that's fine. That is an interesting look on him. I don't think the glasses are gonna work. I would find it hard pressed for anyone to actually properly wear those glasses without A, going full cyberpunk, or B, going full steampunk. Other than that, I can't imagine those glasses fitting on any outfit. He's a play doctor, not a plague doctor. Got it. Alright, let's just click through all these quick so that they're no longer showing as unread. There we go. Howdy, Jay Myers. Welcome. Okay, so we have solved that little mystery. In fact, we have solved the mystery of the poisoned river, as well as the haunted warehouse, which is great. The next step is to go to Pier 3 and see if we can find the missing person. I think I go this way. Although, come to think of it, it is late. I probably should be going to bed. Okay, so we have Haunted House done, Silvertide done. I can't ask about the missing person. Interesting. All my clues related to the guy with the silver eye aren't around. So we've got the barmaid's testimony about Dirty Summers. No idea where to find him. And then we have the missing person's poster. Girvesh is missing. And we've asked Daya. But that's all we've got. Well, and the pendant. And the testimony of the boy. Okay, so so we have like 4 pieces from this thing. But it's related to Roy Soulsby. Wait, hold up. So this one is saying Roy Soulsby is the strong man with the metallic eye. The barmaid said the man with the iron eye, which also was silver eye, could be Dirty Summers, who is not Roy Soulsby, unless he has aliases. Suspiciousness. Suspiciousness indeed. Can I ask people about this?
Do you know anything about this? Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Okay. What about you?
May I ask you something?
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
Okay. Alright. Well, in that case then, I'm gonna have to call it here. Because it's late-ish, and I should probably go to bed-ish. It's an interesting game so far. Definitely an interesting design of a game and the way the investigations work. It's taken a little bit of getting used to, but we're figuring it out. I'm very much looking forward to when the Lovecraftian stuff kicks in, because so far all we've had is kind of bog standard the investigation-y stuff in London. But still interesting. Thank y'all for hanging out. I will see y'all next time. Bye.